So, this is the second installment in my series of scary American legends. This time, it's a creature that's not really that well known except locally, so you can adapt this idea for Call of Cthulhu adventures or just telling stories at a campfire or whatever. If you get really interested, you can look it up and find out more. Let's start. I'm sure everyone knows about Bigfoot. If Bigfoot exists, it seems to be a fairly peaceful woodland dweller. Now, this picture I'm showing you here is not Bigfoot. I only know of 2 encounters in which Bigfoot was supposed to be aggressive. In one, it killed a dog and rolled around over the body. It didn't eat the dog, though. It seems likely that Bigfoot is mostly vegetarian. In the other story, a man was actually kidnapped by a Bigfoot family, but he was unharmed. He escaped by offering one his snuff box. The creature ate the tobacco, and while it was gagging, he ran away. So, not really scary. But this, the skunk ape, is a whole different matter. Doesn't live in the Bigfoot area, it's in the south from Florida to Texas, but there always seems to just be one in any given area. In fact, until recently, the locals of places where a skunk ape was sighted thought that was the only skunk ape. So these are independent areas, each coming up with a skunk ape legend on their own, which seems there's something behind it. I mean, it's not like there's some kind of Jungian collective unconscious bidding us to invent hairy man-like apes. If there were, then there'd be legends of these things from Europe or South America, and there's not, just America. The Legend of Boggy Creek film is about a skunk ape from Arkansas. Honey Island in Louisiana has a skunk ape, and so forth. The skunk apes are always found alone. They're always in an overgrown swampy area. And unlike Bigfoot, the skunk ape is dangerous and aggressive. There are disappearances of hunters and tourists attributed to it. Skunk apes have been known to chase after cars and are otherwise highly threatening and seemingly murderous. But there's more. The skunk ape, unlike Bigfoot, has a supernatural element. This is sometimes suppressed in stories about it, believe it or not, because they want to make up that it's a real animal, and if it sounds supernatural, maybe you won't believe it. But in the case I mentioned where the ape chased a car, the car was driving over 50 miles an hour, and the ape came pace for a while. This is obviously physically impossible. There's also been cases where hunters spotted one, go into a grove to find it, and it had completely vanished. I mean, maybe it's just really good at hiding, or, doesn't exist, but that's an odd connection. You never hear about Bigfoot doing anything supernatural. On the other hand, maybe it's not supernatural, but alien. You see, skunk ape appearances are often connected with weird lights in the sky, or UFOs. Though it seems connected with alien events, the skunk ape itself doesn't seem technological or particularly smart. So why is it appearing along with UFO sightings? Are the aliens teleporting this thing around? Are they placing the skunk ape in areas to feed? Is it an alien pet or livestock? Or, if aliens are connected, their purposes may be impossible for us to understand. So here's what we're left with in the end. A hairy, aggressive humanoid. Unlike Bigfoot, the skunk ape does not usually seem to be much bigger than a person. It's usually described as black instead of brown like Bigfoot, and as you'd guess from the name, it has a powerful pungent stink. I know a lot of the images I've shown here have brown fur, but the eyewitnesses' accounts are almost always black. The skunk ape is murderous. It might be supernatural or of alien origins. There's so many directions you could go with stories or adventures about this creature. The possibilities are endless. If you want to see films about this creature, the pickings are pretty slim. I'd recommend The Legend of Boggy Creek and Shout, Stomp, Scream. Boggy Creek is done straight up as a semi-documentary. Shout, Stomp, Scream is straight up a parody of beach movies and monster movies, so these two films have very different feels to them. The bottom line is, with the supernatural, the alien, and the physical creature connection, you can go almost anywhere with ideas about the skunk ape, and that's part of the fun. Happy hunting, and don't forget to subscribe, click for notifications, and to buy my stuff like this thing. Thanks.